Hi students, today let's learn plastids and vacuole. Today we are going to learn plastids. Let's learn what is plastids. Plastids are double membrane organelles. Where we can find them? Where we find plastids? We find plastids in plant cells and algae. What is plastids? Plastids are double membrane organelles. Where we find them? We find plastids in plant cells and algae. Now we'll see types of plastids. Plastids, there are three types. There are three types. They are Chloroplast. First one is Chromoplast. Chromoplast. Second one is leucoplast. Third one is Chloroplast. Okay. Types of plastids. There are three types of plastids. They are Chromoplast, leucoplast and Chloroplast. We learned that there are three types of plastids. Number one is Chromoplast. Let's see what is Chromoplast. Chromoplasts are plastids and contain carotenoids. They lack chlorophyll. Carotenoid pigments are responsible for different colors like yellow, orange and red color imparted to fruits, flowers, old leaves, roots, etc. Now what it does? These chromoplasts, they are plastids. These plastids contain carotenoids, a pigment called, okay, these pigments are there in chromoplast. They don't have chlorophyll in them. They lack chlorophyll. This carotenoid pigment, they are responsible for what? They give colors. They impart colors. Which color? Yellow, orange and red color. To what? To fruits, flowers, old leaves, roots, etc. So that is what? Chromoplast. Chromoplasts contain carotenoids. These carotenoids are responsible for imparting colors to fruits, flowers, old leaves, roots, etc. Except green color. Green color, why? Because it doesn't have chlorophyll in it. Number 2, leucoplast. First one we learned, that is chromoplast. Second one is leucoplast. What is leucoplast? These are a type of plastids that are composed of colorless organelles with various functions such as storage as seen in roots, tubers or seeds. The basic function of leucoplast is the storage of essential compounds such as starch, lipids and proteins. We learned that chromoplast doesn't have chlorophyll in it. It imparts colors to fruits, leaves, flowers, old leaves and roots. You know, fruits, when they ripe, their color changes. So for that, this chromoplast gives color to it. Then leaves, when they are green, leaves turns to yellow, then it dry. So those colors given by chromoplast. Now here in this it says leucoplast, it is colorless. It doesn't have any color, it is white color. See, these are a type of plastids that are composed of colorless organelles with various functions such as, what is the function? Storage as seen in roots, tubers or seeds. The basic function of leucoplast is the storage of essential compounds such as starch, lipids and proteins. Mostly we find this leucoplast in roots, tubers and seeds. Why? It needs to store starch in it, starch, lipids and protein in the roots, tubers and seeds. That's the reason we find leucoplast in roots, tubers and seeds. Now the third point is chloroplast. What is chloroplast? Chloroplast is an organelle that contains the photosynthetic pigment. Which is the photosynthetic pigment? Chlorophyll. That captures sunlight and converts it into useful energy, thereby releasing oxygen from water. What actually chloroplast does? Chloroplast is an organelle which contains chlorophyll in it. It captures what? Chlorophyll contain chloroplast, capture sunlight and then it converts, sunlight converts into which energy? Converts it into useful energy for photosynthesis. When it converts into energy, then from the water oxygen will release. We know that for photosynthesis, leaves need carbon dioxide. Chlorophyll, with the help of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and sunlight, then water. With all this, leaves prepare food for the entire plant. That we already learned. So this chloroplast is an organelle which contains chlorophyll. Because the chlorophyll is there in the chloroplast, it is able to absorb maximum sunlight. It captures maximum sunlight and converts that into useful energy for the photosynthesis. While doing this process, it releases oxygen from the water. And that is how oxygen, the leaves breathe out oxygen and breathe in carbon dioxide. Okay. And chloroplasts are also called kitchen of the cell. Why it is called the kitchen of the cell? Because they use solar energy to manufacture food. Chloroplasts are called the kitchen of the cell, which is in the leaves. Why it is called? Because it uses solar energy. For what? To manufacture food. Using what? Carbon dioxide and water. You know, during daytime, leaves prepare food. Why? Because it needs sunlight. And with the help of carbon dioxide only it can prepare food. That is the reason the leaves breathe in carbon dioxide. Those things we learned in smaller classes. Chloroplast is an organelle which contains chlorophyll, that with the help of, because the chlorophyll is there in the leaves, it is able to capture the sunlight, and that sunlight it converts into useful energy for the photosynthesis. And during this process it releases oxygen, and that from the water. It doesn't need oxygen, it needs carbon dioxide. So chloroplasts are also called the kitchen of the cell because it is using solar energy for manufacturing food for the entire plant. For that it needs carbon dioxide and water. Chloroplast is bounded by two unit membranes. They are grana and stroma. Let's see what is grana. Granas are the stacks of membrane, bounded, flattened discoid sacs containing the molecules of chlorophyll and are known as thylakoids. This granas looks like these coins here. One on top, it is set. It's round in shape. It's round in shape, but top is flat. This is how the granas looks. These are the stacks of membrane bound flattened discoid sacs containing the molecules of chlorophyll and are known as thylakoids. They are called thylakoids. I said chloroplast contain, or chloroplast is bounded by two unit membrane. Number one grana and number two is stroma. Grana we already learned. Now stroma. It is the ground substance in which the grana are embedded. This I told you, granas are like, this is the shape, okay, round shape, and top is flat. Okay, these are embedded in the ground substance. Okay, they are embedded in the ground substance. That substance is stroma. On stroma, these granas are embedded. It contains variety of photosynthetic enzymes. Stroma contains photosynthetic enzymes and starch grains. Stroma is the ground substance where the granas are embedded, and stroma contains variety of photosynthetic enzymes and starch grains. We learned that there are three types of plastids. Number one, chloroplast. Number two, chromoplast. Number three, leucoplast. Now, what are the functions of these plastids? Number one, traps solar energy with the help of chlorophyll for photosynthesis. Which plastid does that? Chloroplast does that. Plastids, there are three types. Okay. Chloroplast does what? Trapping solar energy. It traps solar energy with the help of chlorophyll. For what? For photosynthesis. Second function, give characteristic color to flowers and fruits. Chromoplast does that. This chromoplast give color to flowers and fruits. Then third function, help in storage of food. Leucoplast does that. Leucoplast helps in storage of food. These are the functions of plastids. In the textbook it is written functions of chloroplast. It is actually functions of plastids because plastids contain chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. These three together does this function. Now let's see vacuole. A vacuole is bounded by a single membrane called tonoplast. The membrane encloses a fluid called cell sap, which is a watery solution rich in sugar, amino acid, protein, minerals, etc. This is how vacuole look. This is the structure of vacuole. This is the single membrane. This membrane is called tonoplast. Membrane is called tonoplast. And inside the membrane, a fluid called cell sap. This is called cell sap, which contain sugar, amino acid, proteins, minerals, etc. Actually, it is a watery solution. It is a fluid, and that is rich in sugar, amino acid, proteins, minerals, etc. These vacuoles are present in the center of the cell, which pushes all the other parts towards the wall of the cell. Let's see the functions of vacuole. Vacuole create turgor pressure, thus maintain the shape and integrity of the cell. Vacuole create turgor pressure, thus maintain the shape and integrity of the cell. This vacuole is present in the center of the cell. It pushes other organelles which is in the cell, so that pushes towards the wall of the cell, so that the shape is maintained and integrity too. Then second point, they help in storage of food, materials and waste product. These vacuoles help in storing food materials and waste product. Third point, contractile vacuoles are present in amoeba, maintain water balance. These are the three functions of vacuole. Draw, color and label the following. Number 1, types of cell. Types of cell, you should draw, color and label it. Then nucleus, you must draw, color and label it. And vacuole also, you should draw, color and label. So these things, if you draw, color and label, you will be thorough with these things. You will not forget, because this is very important in future. You need this. This lesson is very, very important. You must learn thoroughly. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. Press the bell icon to stay tuned.